Welcome to the third episode of our UPCAT lecture series for science. So kung hindi pa kayo nakapanood ng first and second episodes natin, pwede niyo siyang ma-access sa profile page ng restriction site. Ayun, same thing pa rin, we will be discussing 5 items. Beginning with question number 1. If 4 liters If 4 liters of hydrogen gas at 1.43 atmosphere is at standard temperature and the pressure were to increase by a factor of 2/3, what is the final volume of your hydrogen gas? So that is a gas law problem. And di ba, usually pag gas law, meron kang before and after na state. So meron kang before and after. So before the modification and after the modification. So at first daw, the volume, kasi di ba liter, so volume yan. The initial volume is 4 liters. Tapos yung initial pressure niya naman, which is P1, is equal to 1.43 atmospheres. Tapos, nagkaroon ng modification kasi sabi the pressure were to increase by a factor of 2/3. So your pressure, and the V2, P2 na pala yan. V2, P2. Since we were to increase the pressure by a factor of 2/3, remember na yung 2/3 is roughly equal to 0.67, di ba? So i-add natin yan dito sa initial niya na value. So that's just equal to multiplying the initial value by 1.67. So pag sinabi natin increased by a factor of 2/3, that's just the same as multiplying your value by 1.67. So increased by 2/3. So yung pressure mo ngayon is 1.43 times 1.67. Tapos, yung pinapahanap ay volume. Meron tayong values for volume and meron tayong value for pressure. So, P and V. Ano yung gas law na nag-a-apply rito? So, if you're familiar with the gas laws, masasabi mo na ang pwede nating ma-apply dito ay Boyle's law. Boyle's law. So, sinasabi sa Boyle's law, if you increase the volume, you are decreasing the pressure sa gas, 'di ba? If the volume of the container increases, the pressure of the gas decreases. Kaya pwede natin siyang i-represent as P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2 kasi they are inversely proportional. Tapos, we'll just substitute these values into the equation or into the Boyle's law equation. P1 is 1.43, V1 is 4, P2 is 1.43 times 1.67. That's equal to 2.3881. 2.3881 times the volume, yung V2, kasi yan yung pinapahanap. Tapos, divide both sides by 2.3881 over 2.3881. So the final answer for your volume is 1.43 times 4 over 2.3881. That's equal to 2.40 or 2.395. 2.395 liters. Wala siya dito sa choices, pero feeling ko nagkamali lang or may mga errors lang when it comes to rounding off along the way, kaya medyo lumayo. Pero the closest choice to our answer would be letter B. 2.38 liters. So yan yung tamang sagot for this question. So again, We just used Boyle's law or yung Boyle's equation na P1V1 is equal to P2V2. Then we plugged in these values. Let's proceed to question number 2. A hydrocarbon that contains one or more double bonds, so the keywords there or the keyword there is double bond. Tapos, it's classified as, this is just a definition question. And if you're familiar with introductory organic chemistry, you would know that your alkyne includes triple bonds. So pag sinabing alkyne, as in yung Y, triple bonds yung meron dyan. If alkene naman siya, double bond, so E. Ayan. Alkene, double bond. Pag alkane naman, yung A, single bond. Then pag ketone, that's just a carbonyl carbon. So may C double bond O na located internally. So internal na C. So internal carbon siya kasi if nasa terminal siya, that's already an aldehyde. Di ba magiging ganyan na yan if nasa terminal? That's already an aldehyde. Hindi na siya ketone. Pero going back to the question, ang tinatanong niya lang naman, a hydrocarbon that contains one or more double bonds. So double bonds yung naka-emphasize. So that would be letter B, alkene. Ayan. So again, alkyne, triple bond. Triple bond pag alkyne. Alkene, double bond. Pag alkane, single bond. Tapos pag ketone, that's just a carbonyl carbon na internal doon sa backbone mo. Kasi if yung carbonyl carbon makikita mo na sa dulo or terminal, then that would already become an aldehyde. So the correct answer for this item would be letter B, alkene. Okay, next question. What are the coefficients that will balance the formula equation below? Pag nagbabalance tayo ng equation, yung kailangan lang naman dyan ay equal ang number of equal ang number of elements on both sides. So for example, in this case, yung aluminum tuloy. Yung elements na present dito sa equation ay aluminum, chlorine, sodium, oxygen, and hydrogen. Dapat kung ilan yung number ng element na yun dun sa isang side, ganun din sa other side. For example, in this case, ilan yung aluminum dito sa left? By left, I mean ito, yung buong expression na yan. That would be 1, di ba? 1 sa left. Sa other side naman 1. Then yung Cl dito, 3. Yung Cl sa kabila, 1 lang. Yung sodium dito sa left ay 1. Ito lang. Yung sodium naman dito, 1 lang. Sa left, yung oxygen 1. Sa right, 3. Kasi di ba itong subscript na 3, nadidistribute yan doon sa dalawang element sa loob ng parenthesis. Yung H naman dito sa left side, 1 lang, pero sa kabila 3. Kasi nga, nadidistribute yung subscript na 3. So ano yung hindi balanced dito? Hindi balanced ang ating chlorine. Ang ating chlorine, oxygen, and hydrogen. Hindi sila balanced. So we need to place a coefficient before the compound para maging balanced siya. Let's start with chlorine. Si chlorine, 3 sa left, pero sa right, 1 lang. So kailangan natin maglagay ng coefficient na 3 dito sa NaCl para maging tatlo na sa Cl dito sa right. So tatlo na si Cl. But the problem there is, since naglagay tayo ng coefficient na 3, magiging tatlo na rin si sodium. So i-erase natin, tatlo na rin si sodium. So, since tatlo na si sodium dito sa right, kailangan na nating i-adjust naman si sodium dun sa kabila. So we need to place a coefficient na 3 here. In that way, magkakaroon ka na ng tatlong sodium sa left side. Tatlong sodium, tapos si oxygen mo ay tatlo na rin. Kasi di ba naapektuhan niya rin yung oxygen na yan. So oxygen tatlo na rin, tapos hydrogen mo ay tatlo na rin. Clear? So in this way, ayan, balance na 1, 1, 3, 3, and lahat sila tigtatato na. And since the number of each element for both sides is now equal, we can say na the equation is now balanced. So since wala naman tayong nilagay dito, that's just 1. And for aluminum hydroxide, that's just 1. So the coefficients would be 1, 3, 1, 3. That's letter A. So again, when you're balancing an equation, all you have to do is to ensure that the number of elements on both sides is equal. So equal dapat yung number of elements mo on both sides. Kung hindi, you place a coefficient that would make the equation balanced. Now let's proceed to question number 4. An astronaut picks up a stone on the moon and finds its mass to be 2 kilograms. If the mass of the Earth is 6 times more than the mass of the moon, what will be the mass and the weight of the stone? Ang tawag dito, what will the mass and the weight of the stone be pala on the Earth? So ang tinatanong, mass and weight of the stone. Mass and weight of the stone. Now remember, ito, napaka-importanteng principle nito. The mass does not change. The mass does not change wherever you are. That means your mass on Earth is just the same on the moon. Pag pumunta ka naman sa another planet na iba ang gravity doon, mass will still remain the same. So mass does not change. Yung weight ang nag-change. Weight changes. Bakit? Kasi the formula of your weight is mass times yung G, yung acceleration due to gravity. So G is acceleration due to gravity. Tapos, yung acceleration due to gravity, that varies depending on the planet. Sa Earth, yung acceleration due to gravity natin is around 9.8 or roughly equal to 10. Okay? 10 meters per second squared yata, if hindi ako nagkakamali. Ayan. So G is equal to your acceleration due to gravity, and that is dependent on the planet. Kaya, since your weight is equal to m times g, or mass times acceleration due to gravity, your weight is variable depending on what planet you are. Pero your mass does not change. Okay. So yung base sa tanong dito, yung stone daw ay 2 kilograms doon sa moon. Sa Earth, mariretain niya ang mass na yon. Kasi mass is just the amount of material in an object. Kaya hindi yan nagbabago, nasa moon ka man or nasa Earth. So mali na agad si C at si D kasi hindi nga nagbabago yung mass. So it should still be 2 kilograms. 2 kilograms. Okay, since your mass is 2 kilograms, ika-calculate naman natin ang weight. And sabi ko nga, weight is equal to mass times acceleration due to gravity. So that would be 2 kilograms times, gawin na natin 10. Ni-round off natin yung 9.8 to 10 kasi ganun naman yung acceleration due to gravity sa Earth. So 2 times 10, that's 20. 20 newtons. So the unit of measure for your weight is newtons, tapos mass naman ay naka-kilograms. So the correct answer is letter B. Letter B is the correct answer. 2 kilograms ang mass kasi nga hindi siya nagbabago regardless if nasa Earth ka or nasa moon or kung saan ka man, the amount of material does not change, kaya your mass stays the same. Pero your weight is equal to mass times acceleration due to gravity. So, ita times lang natin ang 2 times sa acceleration due to gravity dito sa Earth, which is 9.8 or roughly 10. 2 times 10, 20. So, the correct answer is letter B. Okay, punta na tayo sa last item for this video. Ayan, so what can you infer daw from this illustration? Is it letter A, water molecules are attracted by the electrodes? Pinapakita ba dito? Pinapakita ba dito sa illustration? Yun ba yung emphasis ng illustration na water molecules are attracted by the electrodes? Hindi tayo sure. Hindi naman. Kasi di ba yung naka-emphasize nga dyan yung nag-a-attract, yung ina-attract on both electrons ay sodium and chlorine, di ba? Hindi naman naka-emphasize dyan yung mga molecules ng water. So A is incorrect. Letter B, sodium chloride dissociates when placed in water. That is true kasi your sodium chloride or your NaCl or your table salt, pag nilagay natin sa water, nadi-dissociate siya into its sodium ion and its chlorine ion. Kaya nga, na-separate na siya dito sa illustration. Meron ka ng Na, meron ka na ring Cl. So B is correct. Pero let's check the other items muna before we reach our final answer. Letter C, chlorine ions are attracted to the negative electrode. That is incorrect kasi nga, your chlorine ion is negatively charged. Negatively charged ang chlorine ion mo. So, since negatively charged siya, kailangan niyang ma-attract doon sa positively charged. Which explains this. Kung bakit papunta sa blue si chlorine. Kasi nga, negatively charged siya. So, pupunta siya dun sa positively charged electrode, not negative. So, letter C is incorrect. Then letter D, current flow causes an increase in water temperature. Hindi natin madededuce sa problem or doon sa illustration ang pag-increase ng temperature kasi wala ka namang nakikitang thermometer dyan, di ba? Unless may nakikita kang hindi namin nakikita. So walang thermometer dyan, so hindi natin ma-conclude ang letter D. So the only thing that we can conclude from this illustration is just letter B. Sodium chloride dissociates when placed in water. So nadi-dissociate siya into the positively charged sodium ion and the negatively charged chlorine ion. See you on our next episode. Magkakaroon pala tayo ng math din after na to. So watch out na lang kayo kung kailan yun natin i-release.